Alright, so we're going to quickly go through the first set of problems that we have on our homework. The homework says explicitly, evaluate each expression for the values of a equals to 9, b equal to -3, c equal to -2, and d equal to 7. In our case, we simplified the language. Evaluate each expression, evaluate each problem for a equals 8, b equals -4, c equals -1, and d equals 6. We changed the numbers a little bit. This one got a little smaller, a little larger, and a little bit smaller. So they're almost the same numbers, but the answers are going to come out different. Regardless, the process remains the same for these numbers here. Alright, for number 1, whenever you see the letter, just replace it with whatever the letter is equal to. So a equal to 8. See a minus, 8 minus. We see the letter C, so we're going to replace it with -1. And then we also see the letter D. When C and D are next to each other, or when any letter for that matter is next to each other, it means multiplication, so we're going to put that symbol there. So we're going to write it down here as well. 8 minus -1 times 6. We would plug that in the calculator. The calculator would first do -1 times 6. -1 times 6 is -6. And we still have 8 minus. So it's 8 minus -6. Two negatives make a positive. 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. Alright, same thing for this next set of problems. We're just going to replace the letters when we see them. There's 2 of them. There's B and there's C. I'm going to rewrite the problem. 2 times, define B. B is -4. So we put -4 to the third. This is where we start to run into some issues in the calculator when you plug it in, is when you're taking one of these numbers down and you're replacing the letter with a number, make a general habit, if it's a negative number, to put parentheses around the number. That way you won't run into any issues with the calculator. Okay. Plus, let's go up there and look for C. C is a negative number, we'll put parentheses around it. Let's see, 2 times, we replaced B, to the third, plus, we replace C, and we need to put it to the second. And now it would be as simple if you had a calculator as typing that in and pressing solve. Since we don't have a calculator, we're just going to manually calculate it as we go. 2 times, we do the exponents first, -4 to the third. -4 times -4 is 16, and then 16 times -4 is -64. Plus -1, we gotta do it 2 times, so -1 times -1. -1 times -1 is just 1. Okay. Alright, 2 times -64 is -128. Still have our plus 1 we didn't deal with yet. So -128 plus 1, that is equal to -127. It's getting a little bit harder now. We're going to be replacing a lot of letters, so let's just roll through it. Bring that down, we have to replace the A. A is equal to 8. Bring that minus down, we have to replace the B. B is equal to -4. It's negative, so when we replace it, we're going to put parentheses around it so we don't get confused. that down, bring the squared down, plus, okay, we have a d. D is equal to 6. Parenthesis. Whatever a is equal to 8. And then c is equal to -1. Okay. If you were to type this into a calculator, once again, you would get the correct answer immediately. Okay. Easy enough. Let's solve this without typing that into a calculator, okay? Go on. We have to do what's in parentheses before we do the exponent. Parentheses are always first. 8, double negative, that's a positive, so 8 plus 4. Okay, 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. Copy everything else that we didn't change. Keep copying until we get to this set of parentheses. We have to solve that. 8 plus a -1. 8 minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. Okay. Next up, we do exponents before we do any multiplication. Do those exponents. So 12 squared is 144. Before we do addition, we do multiplication. 6 times 7 should be 42. And lastly, we'll just add those up, which should come out to 186. We'll run one more problem really quickly. This one looks a little more complex, but it's just the same as the one above. Instead of using the circular parentheses, we have these square brackets, but they do the same exact thing, they're just supposed to make it more readable. If you were to use the circly parentheses, there'd be nothing wrong with that, it would be acceptable. Alright, let's read through, and as we see a letter, we're going to copy down the number. B, we're going to replace that with -4. Don't forget to put it in parentheses. Negative. Plus 0.5 it says. 8 minus 2 times c. 2 times, what is c? C is -1. 2 times -1. Plus whatever a is. It's 8. And that is it. Let's solve it since we don't have a calculator. Where do we even begin? Wherever the parentheses are. We have them here, but there's parentheses inside of parentheses, so we're going to start with the ones that are in the middle first. 2 times -1 plus 8 is what we have to figure out first. We do multiplication before addition, so this is where we start. 2 times -1 is -2. -2 plus 8 is 6. So all of this is going to turn into 6, and we're just going to rewrite it. Copy everything back down, but instead of writing all that, we're just going to write 6. Yep, that's it. Alright, we go back to the parentheses again, because that comes before multiplication, it comes before addition. We do those parentheses first. 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. We do multiplication before addition, so 0.5 times 2, that's equal to 1. And -4 plus 1 is equal to -3. Alright, hopefully that was relatively understandable, such that you can complete the remainder of your homework. And any future problems that have this similar format to evaluating each expression. Changing the letters into the numbers, and knowing whether or not you're supposed to use the parentheses before the multiplication, or vice versa, whether or not you add before you subtract. So knowing your orders of operations is key, and replacing the letters with these numbers is also key. Those are the two things you need to understand.